Hi, everybody. This is Armani Balderas, and I am here with Evita, and this is Recovery Uncovered. And so today we are going to be talking about Narcan and fentanyl. So, Evita, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Hi, my name is Evita Morin. I am the CEO here at Rise Recovery, and today we're talking about a really important topic. And if you have not heard of fentanyl, um, then you must not be watching the news. If you have not heard of Narcan, that's actually more probable, and it's probably the thing that you need to know the most. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. First of all, what is fentanyl?
So from what I've heard, from what I've seen, fentanyl is it's a stimulant. It's something that's being laced in a lot of different street drugs and things like that are going around these days, and the number of deaths and the
Mhm.
number of people who are being affected by this is rising.
Yeah.
I know that the telehealth program is actually has a presentation about the facts and things like that of fentanyl that we're working on. So, I mean, that's where we've gained a lot of our information from.
Right.
So, what do you know about fentanyl? What do you know that
Hmm.
fentanyl does?
Um, so my understanding of fentanyl is that it's an opiate.
Hmm.
It's was originally a prescription drug that was used for patients experiencing cancer and pains associated with that. It was often given in the form of a patch, and those were the first things that really became abused. Maybe, we're talking about at least 10 plus years ago, 20 years ago. And then lately, what's been really scary, I think, is that people, manufacturers, illegal manufacturers in
Hmm.
China and Mexico and other countries, maybe even in the US, I don't know, are replicating it, are creating it illegally, and
Hmm.
are selling it as a depressant opiate. And it may look like what you're used to hearing about, like oxycodone, Percocet, Xanax. It may look just like those pills, but it's
Hmm.
actually laced with this incredibly potent drug that has the ability to stop your heart and to
Hmm.
kill you and go into overdose.
Yeah, and I know that there's a big there's a saying that goes along with fentanyl that says one pill can kill.
Mm,
And that comes from and that stems from the fact that just even a small dose of this fentanyl that is ingested into a person's digestive system or into their body, regardless of how it gets
hmm.
ingested into their body, can be fatal. I believe it's like less than like a gram of this, or like,
Hmm.
just very, very small portions of this fentanyl drug ingested into the body can be fatal for anybody.
Yeah.
And especially with what we're seeing now is with people younger and younger being exposed to these kind of things and being exposed to these kind of drugs and things like that. So it's going to be more fatal for them.
Right.
Um,
Right.
so in that, there is not necessarily a saving grace, but there is something that can help
Hmm.
when someone has a fentanyl overdose, and that is Narcan.
Narcan.
I know from experience with Narcan, it is an opioid blocker. It is something that can reverse a fatal overdose or get someone, the help that they need while experiencing an overdose.
Hmm.
So, what are the steps of
Right.
using Narcan and administering Narcan to someone who is experiencing an overdose?
That's a great question. I understand there's a couple ways to use it, but the way that I'm familiar with is the nasal pump.
Mhm.
And so I think you can buy it at your local pharmacy for between $40 and $60, or you can order it for free at morenarcanplease.com.
Mhm.
And that's what I did. I'm waiting for my newest shipment to come in, and that it is administered just like any other nasal spray. It comes with two in a package, and it's important to know if you're a loved one who might be considering having this drug in your medicine cabinet or in your first aid kit. That sometimes, depending on how severe the overdose is, you might need both pumps. That it may require you to use uh, both doses of the Narcan. So always make sure you have at least two on hand, I think.
Mhm. And with Narcan, for those who don't know, is it bad for the person if you administer both, or if you have to administer more than one?
That's a great question. Yeah, my understanding with Narcan, also known as naloxone, right,
Mhm.
is that it does not have any negative effect on the body. It just simply stops the opioid effect
Mhm.
from doing its job, from depressing all of your systems, like your lungs and your heart. So it is really truly a safe drug. If you are not overdosing on opiates, it will not do anything to you to spray it
Hmm.
yourself. That's how safe the drug is. But it is absolutely critical and life saving to have it. And the good news is that it's accessible to anybody. It used to just be first responders, right?
Exactly.
And then now, if you're a loved one, a informal first responder, you can have it in your back pocket.
Hmm. And I think that the more that people are educated on naloxone and the Narcan, and the more education that we get out there, and the more that people see how well that this drug can help in a fatal overdose, the more that it will be distributed, and the more that people will be able to have gain
Hmm.
access to this.
Right.
Like you said, I know that we can get it at pharmacies, or you can get it at
Hmm.
morenaloxoneplease.com. Um, those organizations and things, but it's just like you know um, it's something that's very, very serious, and it's something
Hmm.
that is not taken as seriously as it's
As it could be.
as it
Yeah.
could be. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for Recovery Uncovered with the lovely Miss Evita. And now, a word from Justin.
Oh, yes, sir. How can I help you today?
I would like October. Let me have one of those pumpkin spice lattes.
Pumpkin spice.
Pumpkin spice latte.
Pumpkin spice latte. You do know it's pumpkin spice season, right?
That's one I ordered. The pumpkin spice
Yeah.
latte.
Iced or hot?
Hot.
Hot. You want extra pumpkin spice in there?
Yeah,
What
yeah,
brought
yeah.
you here today besides the pumpkin spice, young man?
Some recovery.
Recovery?
I heard about it.
Yeah?
Talked about it.
Okay, cool. You ain't using them Xanaxes, are you?
Uh, I heard they burn fat.
You heard they burn fat? Well, you gotta be extra careful these days. Do you have access to Narcan?
I've heard of it. Yeah.
Yeah?
I've heard of it.
So I don't know if it burns fat, but I will tell you this. A lot of these pills and other drugs that they're putting out these days are cut with fentanyl, and it's killing people. Would you be interested in some Narcan?
Yeah, I would. Yeah, a whole lot because I do take those Xanax. They get them from a friend.
And he told you that they burn fat?
He said it must, burning fat.
Well, we have other options too, but before you leave today, I'm gonna get you some Narcan to take home with you.
Okay, and
Narcan saves lives. This is produced and brought to you by Rise Recovery. Would you still like a pumpkin spice latte?
Yeah. Okay.
Today's episode brought to you by Knots Landing Cafe, located on the Rice Recovery Charlie Naylor campus at 2803 Moss Rock, San Antonio, Texas 78230. Knots Landing is a donation-based cafe open to the general public every weekday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m.
Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in with Recovery Uncovered today. Oh, God, I did it again. Okay. All right. All right. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us today for Recovery Uncovered with the lovely Miss Evita. And we'd like to welcome you to. Oh my God, what did I just? Oh my God, I'm trying to be. Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna learn more about what's going on. Let's get it.
Okay. Oh. Okay. Um. Well, thank you, everybody, so much for watching Recovery Unplugged. Wait, wait.
Would you still like a pumpkin spice latte?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good deal. Tell me a little more about that narco.
So that, not Narcos, Narcan. Narcos, see, Narcos, those would be pressed with fentanyl too.
Oh, well, I thought that was Evita.
Yeah.
How's that pumpkin spice latte?
Oh, it's good.
Yeah, it's made from real pumpkins. Because every day at Rise Recovery is pumpkin spice season, not just in October.
Let's go talk to those young.
Okay, let's go.
It's over.